a gross loss, obviously,
Was
of 86.3 million, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Yeah,
sorry,
86.3.
I was hold on. I need to stop sharing
Okay.
because I was sharing. I forgot. I'm sharing the
Here, I got
wrong.
it. I'm gonna take over. No worries.
Yeah, yeah. You want to
I
stream?
can share my screen. Okay.
Okay, then
Can you still see my screen on the Zoom? Can folks on the call give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Okay, perfect. So as you can see, and I'm just going to highlight along the way, right? 86.3 million net loss. The loss was you know, in the second quarter was less substantial. And now it's 585.8 million. The gross margin was 12.9 versus it was negative 12.1. Loss from operations had a decrease of 60.7%. So that's a positive sign. The net loss, which is the overall company loss, was 154.2 million in the third quarter, which was a decrease of 58.5. Net loss attributed to shareholders, it is 175 million. Again, that is a decrease of 53.5. So that being said, what I wanted to just kind of sum up here for everyone on the call today is that NIO actually did really well quarter over quarter, has actually improved, approximately 50 to 60% from last year, 2019. So that shows a sign of success in their model. It's a positive story, and I can probably say that this correlates with the Tesla story as well to a certain degree, where once the business starts picking up in terms of deliveries, there's a tendency of seeing that loss diminishing over year. So this is a positive story, but how does this translate to the stock performance, right? So as we can see right now, let me just go to Google Finance, right? Let's just go to Google Finance here. We can go ahead and just take a look at NIO, how it's doing after hours. After hours, you can see that it has a slight decline to 46.36 at this hour. And it's fair to say that, and I hate to say this, but when people translate positive results to positive gains on the stock, it's not always correlatable because there's a little bit of profit taking that happens when the earnings comes out. So that's kind of what we have seen in terms of earnings. So we're going to start dialing in so that we can get some insights on the actual earnings for NIO, and hear from them directly what they have to say. Anything you wanted to chime in, Leon? And by the way, before I have Leon come and say something, I wanted to give a big powwow to Leon to finally, put this thesis together. It has been a privilege to see Leon put the entire thesis at Profit Makers. While we're kind of getting this high conviction trade together. Um, what we have noticed is, uh, and I don't know if you haven't had a chance yet. I'm just going to pull it up on my Discord here. I shared this little article with a lot of folks in our Profit Makers channel. Let me pull it up. There you go. Leon,
yeah.
check
Oh,
this
I
out.
know. Yeah, that popped out today. Yeah.
That popped out today. So you're on Bazinga finally.
Well,
What,
no, Chris is, but hey,
Chris
we're
is,
all
but
supportive of it.
you're one of the hidden figures here when it comes to this. This was your idea. You piloted from the get go, and he's being very humble and direct here. It says I was late to reach your research, and discussion featured two members of Dumb Money community that had done extensive research on Neo. So that was you, Leon, right there, and Wojciech, I think. Yeah. So I just wanted to at least give you all kudos that you made it to the Bazinga news, at least. And it's very clear and evident that Chris definitely respects the effort that you're putting at Dumb Money. So just a big powwow to Leon for putting a great deal of effort and getting his name out there to Bazinga. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we dial in, I'm going to just open it up. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Let me go to the chat box.
Did you let them unmute?
I thought they were unmuted already. No?
Oh, yeah. Let me get you the Profit Makers Discord link. 1 second. Someone was asking me.
Okay. Yeah, if you all have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask. Any questions, anyone?
If no one has any questions, yeah, just be careful because we did have a parabolic run on the technicals, right? So there was massive profit taken on Friday. So I'm hoping most of that got washed out. But as we learned, there was a lot more bigger call orders that got put in for longer time frames, and there's a lot of calls that were bought expiring 11/20. So a lot of short-term gambling going on.
So my trade, Leon, on this one was I just wanted to voice it out there to everyone. I was with you on the deep in the money calls, the 25 January, up until 2 p.m. Today Central. I went ahead and closed that out. And the reason I closed that out was I believe in the Vega decay, which is volatility decay. So I closed that out. I set up a straddle trade, which is selling a put and a call way out of the money to monetize by Friday. So I believe I'll make about $500 if NIO stays between $31 and $59, $34 and $59 by Friday. I think is a fair trade to have, and I look forward to tomorrow dipping my toes back into buying the deep in the money calls back in. So at least once the profit taken kind of subdues, I'll jump in back in with the deep in the money call. That's pretty much my strategy. Again, it's not a recommendation or an advice. That's just what I felt like doing as a part of this NIO strategy.
Yeah, that sounds good there. I haven't done any sell side stuff yet. Like I said, I rotated into the February $40 calls, and then I did a quick 11/27 short term call, and I took 44% on that today, like $400 profit. But yeah, I just added to my bigger position, and I got back into Palantir. But hey, let's do that call. Are you gonna call in from Zoom? Is that how it's gonna work? Oh, okay. And while he's talking, let me just pull up the technicals. Again, with whatever happened, like there's gonna be a lot of volatility on earnings. Let's see here. So it's just to see where we are at the moment. So let me. I'm at 5 minutes. Let me go to the 1 hour. Oh, I got my peeps positions on here. Should probably delete that. Oh, post was $45. Looks like it's back to 46. Let's see. Smith's still dialing in. He's got the number I registered. But yeah, folks. This is the wrong earnings date that TradingView thought it was going to be. This is the correct one. So last earnings was August, and the one before that in May. So yeah, parabolic move. We got a lot of volatility. Some people saying this looks like a head and shoulders forming. I think it's a rough one, but we'll see. But whatever they say in the call can definitely change them. I'm not sharing the screen.
Yeah, you're not sharing the screen. It's just got the article that you had before.
Oh, sorry. I moved over. So here's a weird thing. Like we are doing. He's sharing his screen. What I'm doing is I'm using OBS to stream what I'm seeing to YouTube. So unfortunately, dang it. You're muted. You're muted.
You can go ahead and just share your screen on here too, so people can see. I just released my screen share.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
All right. So you guys see the article, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, is the call going to be in English or Chinese?
Hopefully English, because it is on American hours. Well,
it's going to be English. It's a U.S. earnings. So.
Okay, good, cool.
Yeah. So just looking here, this is the SPY futures. So the futures are down a little bit. Purple line is SPY. This is just a chart of Tesla. The kind of compare. Let me go to the weekly on that. So this was the COVID dump. Let me move this out of the way. And here is NIO, where we are right now. So from this entire move, the golden ratio puts us at $40. So, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, some people were seeing this as a possible head and shoulders here. Hopefully it doesn't play out that way. But that's why if you're in long in shares, you'll be fine. And that's why I wanted to kind of push out my call options too. Hey, Mitt, can we put the volume through on the call?
It looks like they are kicking us out because of max capacity. I'm just trying to use alternative link to see if we can go in through there.
Oh, on the NIO call?
Yeah.
I registered. What the heck? Oh, dude, we should have called him at 5 o'clock. Oh, that was probably a miss.
That would have been a wiser decision. Yeah, but it looks like several folks are on it. Online. Let me see if I can get the audio here. Just bear with me.
Yeah, let me look too.
销量冠军。ES8在中国40万元以上高端电动 SUV 市场中占据销量的首位。EC6也顺利量产开始交付。我们保持了高水平的质量和服务口碑，持续得到用户的好评。9月份，在 JD Power 发布的2020年中国新能源汽车体验研究中，未来在中国纯电动新车质量排名第一。
Mute on that one?
Yes, 6.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get just a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself and then try this.
Brands.
随着 BAS 的推出，我们的产品和服务得到了更多用户的认可。10月份新增订单再创历史纪录。4季度我们有交付量达到15500到
A challenge to get to the audio.
After the launch of the battery as a service, but
This is
those
it. Hold on,
products
I need to
and
unmute.
services have been increasingly accepted by more users. The new order intake in October broke the historic record and exceeded our expectations. In the fourth quarter, we're confident that the deliveries will further grow to between 16,500 and 17,000 units.
在毛利率方面，随着季度交付量的增长和高价车型销量占比的上升，加上物料采购成本和制造费效的持续改善，我们3季度的整车和综合毛利率分别达到14.5%和12.9%，超过我们此前的预计。
In terms of a gross profit, supported by the steadily growing quarterly deliveries, increase of higher margin products in our product mix, as well as continuous improvement on material cost and manufacturing efficiency, our gross margin in the third quarter has continued the upward trend, with the vehicle margin and overall gross margin reaching 14.5% and 12.9% respectively, surpassing our previous expectations.
公司的体系优势正在逐渐显现。2020年第3季度的运营亏损进一步收窄至9.46亿元，环比下降18.4%，同比下降60.7%。第3季度，我们再次实现了正向经营现金流。我们有信心，2020年全年总体可以实现经营活动现金流转正。
NIO's system efficiency is getting more and more self-evident. The operating loss has further narrowed to 946 million RMB in the third quarter of 2020, representing an 18.4% decrease month over month and a 60.7% decrease year over year. In addition, we have achieved a positive cash flow from operating activities for the second sequential quarter in Q3. We are confident to achieve a positive operating cash flow for the full fiscal year 2020.
接下来我们再来交流一下近期的一些重点工作。
Next, I would like to share with you some key tasks of the company.
研发方面，我们在10月份向用户推送了领航辅助功能 Navigate Untitled， 进一步增加了未来NIO Pilot 的自动辅助驾驶的竞争力，受到了用户和媒体的好评。通过深度融合多传感器、环境感知以及高精地图的数据，领航辅助功能可以按照导航规划的路径，实现自动进出匝道和自动超越慢车等功能，支持高速公路以及城市高架路段，并且根据中国的路况场景进行了优化。
With respect to R&D, we released the Navigate Untitled feature, or NOP, to users via quota in October. which has further boosted the competitiveness of NIO Palette over ADAS system and received rave reviews from users and media. They're fusing the environmental data from the sensor suite with high-definition maps. NLP can guide the vehicle to follow the navigation route, automatically drive from on-ramp to off-ramp, and overtake slower cars. It can engage not only on highways, but also urban expressways, with optimizations based on specific use cases in China.
我们正在加速第二代技术平台 NT2 的开发。NT2 的核心是行业最领先的量产自动驾驶系统。我们将在 NIO Day 上与大家分享更多的细节。
We are accelerating the development of the second generation technology platform, NT 2.0. The core of NT 2.0 is industry-leading mass production autonomous driving system. We will share more details of NT 2.0 at NIO Day 2020.
11月6日，蔚来发布了100度电池包。100度电池系统采用高度集成的 C2P 设计，能量密度提升了37%，大大提升了蔚来全系产品的续航里程。100度电池包采用了无热蔓延的安全设计，全天候温控部。随着100度电池包的推出，我们将为70度电池包用户提供永久升级以及按月按年的灵活升级服务。至此，我们成功闭环了车电分离、电池分离、可充可换可升级的商业和模式。
On November 6th, NIO launched the 100 kilowatt-hour
Can you
battery
say on
pack.
Discord? I can't get to the
It
chat
features
right
a
easy.
highly integrated cell-to-pack architecture with 37% energy density increase, which significantly extends the drive range of our product lineup. It has also adopted other advanced technologies, including thermal propagation prevention design, all climate thermal management, and bidirectional cloud BMS to make the battery safer and better. The 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack will begin deliveries in December. Together with the launch of the 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, we also provide permanent upgrades and flexible upgrades by month or by year to users of the 70 kilowatt-hour battery pack. As of today, we have successfully closed the loop for our innovative bus model through vehicle battery separation, battery subscription, and chargeable, swappable, and upgradable battery solutions.
产能方面，我们9月份已经达到了5000台的全供应链产能。团队正在与合作伙伴一起进一步提升产能，预计明年1月份将实现全供应链产能提升至每月7500台，以满足不断增长的用户需求。
As for production capacity, our overall supply chain production capacity has already reached 5,000 units per month in September. The teams are working diligently together with our partners to further elevate our production capacity. We target to expand the overall supply chain production capacity to 7,500 units per month in January 2021 to meet the growing user demand.
销售和服务网络方面，蔚来已经有22个蔚来中心和159个蔚来空间，覆盖中国106个城市。蔚来换电站已建成159座，覆盖70个城市。我们正在开发成本更低、体验更好的2代换电站，将在明年上半年开始部署。
In regards of the sales and service network, NIO has opened 22 new houses and 159 new spaces in 106 cities and 159 power swap stations in 70 cities in China. Moreover, we're developing the second generation power swap station with lower cost and a better experience, and are planning to deploy the second generation swap station in the first half of 2021.
我们的用户数量在不断扩大，蔚来用户社区充满了更多活力。刚刚迎来了蔚来车主志愿者2周年，截至2020年11月10日，蔚来社区共有3101位车主志愿者， 他们来自全国118个城市，出现在展厅、车展、直播平台、交付中心、NIO Day。用户的信任和支持一直是我们最大的前进动力。
As our user base continues to expand, the new user community is becoming ever more vibrant. November marks the second anniversary of the NIO User Volunteer Initiative. As of November 10th, 2020, there are 3,101 user volunteers from 118 cities. They take it upon themselves to promote NIO and contribute to the community at the showrooms, auto shows, live streaming platforms, delivery centers, and NIO Day. Users' trust and support have always been the biggest motivation for NIO to do more and be better.
未来将在2020年11月25日迎来6周岁的生日，在用户的支持和团队努力下，我们取得了里程碑式的表现。但我们仍然是一家历史很短的初创公司，面临激烈的市场竞争和挑战。我们会坚决的产品和核心技术研发进行投入，提供最好的服务和全程的用户体验，来回馈我们真实的用户社区。
On November 26, 2020, NIO will embrace its 6th anniversary. With user support and team effort, we have achieved a milestone performance, but we are still a startup with a rather short history. In the face of a fierce competition and intense challenges, we will remain committed to making decisive investments into products and core technologies, and offering the best service and holistic user experience to live up to the expectations of our loyal user community.
感谢大家的支持。现在 Steven 将为大家介绍第3季度的财务业绩。
Thank you for your support. With that, I will now turn the call over to Steven to provide the financial details for the quarter. Steven, please go ahead.
Thank you, William. I will now go over our key financial results for the third quarter of 2020. And to be mindful of the length of this call,
Leon, the fun part is when
refer to our earnings press
question and
release,
answers
which
come
is
in,
posted
right?
online
And we
for
can
additional
answer.
details.
Yeah,
Our total revenues in the third
questions.
quarter were 4.53 billion RMB, or $666.6 million,
66.
representing an increase of 146.4% year-over-year, and increase of 21.7% quarter-over-quarter. Our total revenues are made of two parts: vehicle sales and other sales. Vehicle sales in the third quarter were 4.27 billion RMB, or $628.4 million, accounting for 94% of total revenues in this quarter. It represented an increase of 146.1% year-over-year, and an increase of 22.4% quarter-over-quarter. The increase in vehicle sales year-over-year was primarily due to the increase in sales of ES6 and ES8. Other sales in the third quarter were 259.2 million RMB, or $38.2 million, representing an increase of 150.7% year-over-year, and an increase of 11.3% quarter-over-quarter. The increase in other sales year-over-year was mainly attributed to increased revenues derived from the home charger installed, service packaging and energy package subscribed, and accessories sold, which were in line with increased vehicle sales in the third quarter of 2020. Cost of sales in the third quarter was 3.94 billion RMB, or $580.3 million, representing an increase of 91.4% year-over-year, an increase of 15.7% quarter-over-quarter. The increase in cost of sales year-over-year was mainly driven by the increase of delivered volume in the third quarter of 2020. Gross profit in the third quarter of 2020 was 585.8 million RMB, or $86.3 million, representing an increase of 807.4 million RMB from a gross loss of 201.6 million RMB in the third quarter of 2019, an increase of 272.7 million RMB from the second quarter of 2020. The increase in gross profit was mainly contributed by increased vehicle sales and increased vehicle margin. Gross margin in the third quarter of 2020 was 12.9%, compared with active 12.1% in the same quarter of 2019 and 8.4% in the third quarter of 2020. The increase of gross margin was mainly driven by the increase of vehicle margin in the third quarter of 2020. More specifically, vehicle margin in the third quarter of 2020 was 40.5%, compared with active 6.8% in the same quarter of 2019 and 9.7% in the second quarter of 2020. The increase of vehicle margin was mainly driven by the decrease in purchase price of certain materials and lower unit manufacturing costs, attributed from increased production volume of the ES6 and ES8 in the third quarter of 2020. R&D expenses in the third quarter were 590.8 million RMB, or $87 million, representing a decrease of 42.3% year-over-year, an increase of 8.4% quarter-over-quarter. The decrease in R&D expenses year-over-year was primarily attributable to higher design and development costs occurred in the third quarter of 2019.
Clarify, yeah, that's what we're saying too.
ES8 launched in the fourth quarter of 2019, and the company's overall cost-saving efforts and improved operational efficiency in R&D functions since the fourth quarter of 2019. SG&A expenses in the third quarter were 940.3 million RMB, or $138.5 million, representing a decrease of 19.2% year-over-year, an increase of 0.4% quarter-over-quarter. The decrease in SG&A expenses year-over-year was primarily driven by the company's overall cost-saving efforts and improved operating efficiency in marketing and other supporting functions. Loss from operations in the third quarter was 946 million RMB, or $109.3 million, representing a decrease of 60.7% year-over-year and a decrease of 18.4% quarter-over-quarter. Share-based compensation expenses in the third quarter were 49.2 million RMB, or $7.3 million, representing a decrease of 30.1% year-over-year and an increase of 8.3% quarter-over-quarter. The decrease in share-based compensation expenses year-over-year was primarily due to less operating growth driven by the decline in numbers of employees and impact of part of the share-based compensation expenses being recognized by using the accelerated method, under which the expenses decrease gradually over the vesting period. Net loss in the third quarter was 1.05 billion RMB, or $154.2 million, representing a decrease of 58.5% year-over-year and a decrease of 11% quarter-over-quarter. Net loss attributable to NIO's ordinary shareholders in the third quarter was 1.19 billion RMB, or $175 million, representing a decrease of 53.5% year-over-year and a decrease of 1.6% quarter-over-quarter. Basic and diluted net loss for ADS in the third quarter were both 0.98 RMB, or 14 cents per ADS. Excluding share-based compensation expenses and accretion of redeemable non-controlling interests to the redemption value, non-GAAP adjusted basic and diluted net loss for ADS were both 0.82 RMB, or 12 cents per ADS in the third quarter. Our balance of cash and cash equivalents, restricted cash, and short-term investments was 22.2 billion RMB, or $3.3 billion, as of September 30th, 2020. Additionally, we achieved positive cash flow for operating cash activities for the second sequential quarter. And now for this outlook. As William mentioned, for the fourth quarter of 2020, the company expects deliveries to be between 16,500 and 17,000 vehicles, with an increase of approximately 100.6% to 106.7% from the same quarter of 2019, an increase of approximately 35.2% to 39.3% from the third quarter of 2020. The company also expects the total revenues of the fourth quarter 2020 to be between 6.26 to 6.44 billion RMB, or between 901.8 to 947.9 million US. This will represent an increase of approximately 119.7% to 106% from the same quarter of 2019, an increase of approximately 38.3% to 40.2% from the third quarter of 2020. This outlook reflects the company's current and preliminary view on the risk situation and market conditions, which is subject to change. Now, this concludes our prepared remarks. I will now turn the call over to the operator to facilitate our Q&A session.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin the question and answer session. And if you wish to ask questions, please press star 1 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced.
This is the best part. Increase the volume, man. Increase the volume.
For the benefit of all participants on today's call, please limit yourself to 2 questions. And if you have additional questions, you can re-enter the queue by pressing star 1 again. The first we have is from the line of Tim Chow from Morgan Stanley. Your line is now open.
Hi, William, Stephen, Jade, and Tim. This is Tim from Morgan Stanley. Congratulations on the strong result, and thanks for taking my questions. So I have 2 questions, and we'll quickly go through them and Mandarin first. 首先第一个问题想跟管理层请教一下，就是说今年未来汽车不论在新的车型发布和内燃电池项目都有明显的进展。那如果我们展望明年除了第4款车的推出之外，在研发投入这边相对侧重的项目以及相对应整个投入的金额的预期呢，是不是可以请管理层这边稍微跟投资人做个指引？那第2块呢，就是有关于我们 Boss Battery Service 市场反馈目前市场的反馈还有目前的 take rate。那因为我们前一阵子刚这个发布100度电的电池包，那有了这个新的这个产品的话，我们对于Boss 长期的预期这个 take rate 大概是一个什么样的状况？So my first question, we saw NIO making solid operational progress this year at all fronts. For example, like in the launch of EC6 Boss and the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. So looking to 2021, in addition to the 4th model launch and ongoing investment in the autonomous driving, what else would be our key focuses for R&D investment? And if possible, could the management share any rough guidance regarding the overall R&D spending versus 2020? My second question is about Boss Battery as a Service. Could you please share some market feedbacks on the battery service program? And with the launch of the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, what's our expectation of the take rate of bus services for 2021 and beyond? These are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. 明年的研发研发的重点，就像我前面讲的，我们从核心技术的角度来讲的话，这个NT2当然 NT2的话呢是整个的核心的话呢是行业最领先的量产的自动驾驶的这个系统，当然还有很多别的方面的这个更新了，就进展啊。那当然从车型的角度来讲，大家也知道我们现在有3款这个 SUV 的量产车型，我们这个马上发布1款轿车的产品 那我们的 NT2 上的第一款车，是一款轿车。那我们现在当然是肯定是要进入到这个轿车的市场。那当然我也可以说一下，我们现在还有别的一些车型也在研发的这个进展中啊。那我们的第二款新车，就是正在研发的第二款新车，也是一款轿车的产品。所以大家可以想象我们下两辆新车发布了以后，那我们的整个的产品布局应该就比较完整了。所以这个是目前我能够说的关于研发方面的一些这个情况。
Thank you for your question. Regarding the R&D focus for next year or of a recent focus, just like I mentioned in my prepared remarks, the NT 2.0 is the focus in terms of the core technologies. The core of NT 2.0 is the industry-leading mass production autonomous driving system. Of course, we also have other ongoing projects. In terms of the vehicle models, we have already successfully launched the 3 SUVs. For the next product that we are going to launch is going to be a sedan on the NT 2.0 platform. It means that we're going to enter the sedan market. At the same time, we're also developing other vehicle models. For example, the second new product in the pipeline is also going to be a sedan. So with the launch of the next 2 new products, we believe we can complete our product portfolio.
第二个问题就是bus 的 take rate。我们从8月份发布这个bus 以后呢，我们非常高兴看到每个星期它的 take rate 都在逐渐的增长。那么到11月份到目前为止的话呢，我们的这个新增订单里面的 bus 的 take rate 已经达到了35%那应该讲比我们预期的还是要快一些，进展的要好一些当然从交付的角度来讲，因为我们都是按订单生产嘛，所以交付的 take rate 呢，它会比这个订单的 take rate 会有一个延迟但是总体上来说，订单的这个 take rate 里边，我们还是非常高兴的看到了这个 bus 的增长。那么从这个bus 的一个现在用户应该讲越来越认识到它的好处，因为它不光是能够降低购车的门槛，让用户不会利用电池的衰减去顾虑，主要的是它可以有灵活的升级的服务那么这个整个的这个方案的话呢，其实和我们的目标是一样的，就有利于促进更多的汽油车用户去转换100度电发布了以后呢，我们整个的这个 bus 模式呢就更加有竞争力了我相信随着时间的推移呢，用户对于 bus 的理解会更加的深长期来看 bus 的订单会继续上升。
In terms of the bus take rate, after we announced the bus in August, we're very happy to see the increase with the take rate every week. And in November, we can see that among all those new orders, the take rate of bus is around 35%, which is faster and better than our previous expectations. Because our model is make to order, so this will be reflected a little bit later in our deliveries. We're very happy to see this bus take rate momentum, and we believe that this is also going to improve in the future. Bus can help us to lower the initial purchase price and eliminate users' concerns regarding the battery degradation, and also provide flexible upgrade services to the user. The purpose of bus is to convert more gasoline car users to EVs. After the launch of a 100 kWh battery pack, we believe the competitiveness of a bus has been significantly enhanced. And as the users can get much better understanding about the benefits of a bus, we believe this take rate will increase in the future in the long run.
Perfect, clear. Thank you, William, and congratulations again on the result. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. And the next question we have is from Ming Lee from Bank of America. You may now proceed with your question.
谢谢 William Steven 还有李导成非常好的这个第三季的业绩。那我这边的问题还是主要是关于毛利率的改善方面，因为从第三季到第二季的话，我们的这个毛利率的话，大概差不多是进步了5个百分点。那可不可以请管理阶层再稍微如果可以的话，能不能稍微回答一下，就是我们这个毛利率的改善其中有包含哪些？那另外的话，想再确认一下，我们本季度有这个因为销售积分得到的这个就是额外的这个毛利率嘛？那这个的话是不是放在就是non-vehicle 的这个 gross profit？ 然后另外的话，这个 non-vehicle 的 gross margin， 我们看到这一季度它是相较于上个季度稍微下降一点，但因为我想这个数字很小，所以它每个季度本来就比较高的，但是长期来看，我们是不是这个 business就是应该这个毛利率都会持续往上？这是我的第一个问题，是关于毛利率的。谢谢 William。So my first question is regarding the margin expansion from second quarter to third quarter. Your gross margin improved around 5 percentage points. Could you give a rough breakdown? How do you improve your gross margin? And do we also see any extra contribution from the sales of the NEV credit? So that's my first question. Thank you, William, for the management team.
好，谢谢Min，我让那个Stanley来回答这个问题。
Hi, Min, this is Stanley. The vehicle margin increase in Q3 compared with Q2 mainly contributed by two factors. The first is the average selling price increased by 10,000 RMB per vehicle, mainly because the more ES8 with higher price are sold in Q3. Second is BOM cost reduced by 7,000 RMB per vehicle, also which are contributed by the cost reduction of battery pack and also EDS. You mentioned the revenue from selling dual credit points. We received the revenue in Q4 with total amount of 120 million RMB, and we will recognize this as other revenue in Q4. So in Q3, we not included in the financial results. Yeah. So that's your question about the vehicle margin. And regarding the service revenue, I think we are continuously working on to improve the service margin to reduce the loss. So I think the trend will be positive in future. Okay, that's me.
总体上来讲的话，我补充一下，总体上来讲，我们从这个其他的服务的这个毛利率的角度来讲的话，我们当然随着保有量的增加呢，我们肯定也会是持续的会去优化啊。那从这一点上来讲的话呢，这个其实这个其他的这个销售收入的这个毛利率反而它是随着规模效益的增加，它会改善的会更好一些。我们相信，当然 Q2 到 Q3 这个是一个小的一个变化，但是从长期来讲的话，我们觉得持续改进还是非常有信心。
Overall speaking, regarding the gross margin of the other service and the sales, we believe it will be further optimized as our user base continues to expand. And this is going to be reflected with the growing economics of the sales. In the Q2 and the Q3, the change is not very evident, but we are quite confident this is going to have a continuous optimization in the future.
好的，那我这边还有另外一个问题是关于 ASP 跟这个电池的部分。那因为根据公司的指引的话，我们这边算了一下，大概4季度的这个整个公司的 ASP 大概又会比3季度大概高了12000到13000人民币左右。那想了解一下这一块是主要就是因为我们4季度的这个 EC6 的这个交付会大量的一个增长，所以说带来的这个ASP 的上涨。然后另外也想再请教一下，这个4季度的 ASP 上涨跟这个我们推出100度电的这个 比较大的电池是不是也有一定的关系？那我这边最主要想要问的原因是因为我们其实现在换电站已经将近160个，那明年应该会到350个或是以上的。那所以说其实会不会对这个消费者他的这个里程交易其实也有一定程度的帮助？那其实最主要是想了解说，我们现在消费者这边选择100度电跟70度电，你们觉得往后的这个就是比较constant 的这个比例大概会是怎么样的？然后现在的这个里程是不是其实已经够？如果我们这个换电站的这个密度已经够了，因为毕竟我们的这个消费者里面其实家里有充电桩，安装充电桩的这个比例是非常非常高的。那最后一个问题就是说，如果我们卖100度电。
Honey, I think your line got up.
I'm very sorry. The participant's line got disconnected. May we suggest please press star 1 again if you have further questions. I'll move on to the next one. We have Bin Wang from Credit.
Operator, let the management to answer the question first. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna try this
We'd
stream.
like to know whether this is driven by the 86 or the 100 kilowatt battery pack, and we also would like to know for the battery packs, what is the take rate ratio between the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack and the 70 kilowatt hour battery pack?
那我简单的回答一下，就是我们的这个如果简单给我们根据我们给的这个销售收入的这个指引的量计算的话，还是忽略了我们其他的收入增长。前面Stanley也讲了，我们在4季度会部分进来今年的碳排放积分的双积分的这个收入，所以这个的话呢会把整个的收入，其他的就汽车以外的收入的话会拉高一些。所以从整个的我们给的指引的方向的角度来讲，我们并没有去把这个 ASP 的提高作为一个主要的目标。那么目前我们预计 ASP 还是能维持和 Q3 差不多的水平不会显著提高，也不会显著下降根据目前订单的情况来看的话，当然100度电的话呢，因为我们4季度也是刚刚开始交付对当季的这个 ASP 也不会有这么显著的影响。当然4季度的毛利率的持续改善，我们还是非常有信心的。
In terms of the sales revenue guidance, we would like to clarify a little bit, just like Danny mentioned, for the due credit to revenue, this is going to boost the revenue for the other sales. And in our guidance, we don't actually consider the increase of the average selling price as a part of the target. We believe the average selling price in the fourth quarter is going to be at the similar level as the third quarter, according to the orders we receive right now. And we just started the deliveries of the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack in the fourth quarter, so we believe that this is not going to have any impact on the gross margin in such a short time. But we're very confident to continuously improve our gross margin throughout the fourth quarter.
Operator, we can move on to the next question.
Certainly, sir. The next question is from Bin Wang from Credit Suisse. Your line is now open.
谢谢各位领导。我有2个问题，一个关于毛利率，一个关于新产品那毛利率的话呢，想问问看一些因素有没有被考虑到，比如说，我们之前有取消这个电池的贴息，这个我刚没有看到 Stanley 有解释这个有没有帮助到毛利率？第二呢，是不是江淮的这个生产安排导致已经没有规模效应了？我也没听到 Stanley 解释这个规模效应的帮助。那么往前看的话呢，这个 bus 如果更多的被使用 ，bus 是一个毛利率正面的因素吗？还是负面？能不能量化一下？100度电的这个电池对毛利率是否正面负面？如果你比如说到50、60的都用100度电，那么这样的毛利率大概有多少的帮忙？以及呢，就是这个算积分会算在那个新车毛利率里面吗？因为刚才好像没有解释这个。最后就是这个有没有一些一次性的这个因素在3季度？因为我们的友商就理想他们有一个一次性的宁德时代的一个返利我们有没有可能在3季度有没有这个一次性的一个电池的一个回溯吧有没有这些一次性的因素？这些都是关于这个毛利率的这个问题第二个呢，就是关于这个新产品。那我其实也是
看到未来2个新产品都是这个轿车哈，这相对是一般来说可能价格会低一些，毛利会低一些。那么有没有可能会做一个更大比 ES8 更大的 SUV， 比如说 ES9？那我为什么会提这个呢？就是因为我们的友3它的下款车是个更大的 SUV 哈，那就想问问看，在新产品的想法之上呢，到底将来会不会做更大的？因为之前我们有一个 EVE 这款 MPV 类似的产品嘛，更大的好像是更高毛利哈，基本上是这些问题。我可能稍微翻译一下，就是 Actually, I just want to know what's the margin factors going forward in the past. Going forward, we see a few factors. For example, the bus adoption, 100 kWh battery, and some removal of the interest rate subsidy for the previously for the battery. And any one of factors for impact the margin in the past. That's about the margin. Second, about the new products, because we've seen the next two products will be the sedan, likely to be lower pricing or maybe lower margin. So do you have any plan for an even bigger SUV or even bigger one? Because for example, maybe the name is the ES9. We've seen other peers actually planning for a much bigger one. So basically, what's the upcoming plan for the even bigger products? Thank you.
This is Danny. I will break down into the factors to further explain the gross margin improvement. The first you mentioned is about the subsidy. We further reduced the subsidy to the end users in Q3 with the launch of our bus model. And so in Q3, there's a little bit like factor can like to due to the subsidy reduction. And the second is the scale of the economy. As you can see, the production volume in Q3 is 12,000 vehicles and almost over 20 increase compared with Q2. As William mentioned prior, and we invest more to improve our production capacity in September to 5,000 units. So the manufacturing cost, I think almost all the same with the second quarter. Yeah, and about the bus and also the 100 kilowatts impact, I to William to answer this question. Yeah.
OK 好，那个刚才知道的那个我再补充一下，从这个长期来讲，从方向来讲，当然随着我们量的增加的话，我们知道费效还会持续的有改善的空间啊。但是确确实到了一定程度就不会再下降了，但目前还是有下降的空间的。在 Q3 里边，这个贡献比 Q2 肯定小了一些啊，那越往后肯定会越小一些。当我们到了这个明年的1月份，我们到7500台的产能以后，这个还是会有一些下降，但这个不会下降太多了。这个从一个方向的角度来讲。
I would like to add some points regarding the manufacturing cost and efficiency. In the long run, of course, we will further improve our manufacturing efficiency and the cost. And we believe this is going to reduce gradually, but we're going to stop the reduction at a certain point. Of course, we can see more contribution in the third quarter compared with the second quarter, but this is going to diminish in the future. But we will continue to work on the optimization of the manufacturing efficiency and the cost.
那从 bus 的角度来讲呢，这个因为我们是在公司会把这个电池和整车分别销售给这个电池资产公司和用户啊，并且同步确认收入，所以整体上来说呢，它是不影响整车的毛利的。但从一个长期的角度来讲，因为我们提供这个电池升级服务，所以它会增加我们的整车以外的这个毛利啊。从长期来讲，因为我们电池升级服务还是有毛利的啊。这个所以从这个角度来讲的话呢，它不影响整车毛利，但是会长期来讲增加我们非整车的毛利。
For the battery as a service, we will sell other cars to the users and the battery to the battery asset company under the fast model. So it means that this is not going to affect the vehicle gross margin, but with our battery upgrade service, this is going to provide some good benefits to other revenues. So in the long run, this is not going to have any significant impact on the vehicle gross margin, but it will give some incentives to other revenues.
对，但是新车积分我们是算在这个其他的收入里边这个所以我们不是像 Tesla 那样 ，Tesla 是把这个积分的话呢，这个碳排放积分是放到整车毛利里面，我们这个双积分会放到这个其他的这个收入里面，所以它提升的是整车以外的毛利。
For the dual credits, we actually include this in other revenues or other sales. We have different approaches compared with Tesla because Tesla considers the revenue of the credit in the vehicle margin, but we include that in the other revenues.
关于这个新产品的这个布局，当然我们有自己非常这个完整的一个市场进入的计划。我们从策略的角度来讲的话呢，我们就像 ES8 先从一个中大型的这个 SUV 的这个市场进入，然后我们到中型的 SUV 到酷配的 SUV， 我们都是非常体系的。那么在轿车这个领域，我们肯定是要进的那我们下一个当然是要进入到轿车这个细分市场。我们总体的逻辑呢，还是要去 balance 这个细分市场的这个大小和这个我们的这个量，我们还是要 balance 这个这个当然有一些比较小众的市场。现在不是我们的重点。
For the new product planning, we have a very comprehensive product and market entry planning. This is going to be carried out step by step. For example, we started with our flagship SUV ES8 in the mid and large segment. Then we entered the mid-size SUV segment with the ES6, then the coupe SUV with the EC6. This is a very systematic approach. For the next step, we're going to enter the sedan market. When selecting different market segments, we need to balance the size of the segments and the volume objectives. At this moment, the rich market are not going to be our focus.
I think we also mentioned the one-time factors in Q3. We did not receive a significant sales rebate from the suppliers in Q3. So I don't think, we have also the material factors. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Can you also answer me about the 100 kilowatt battery, whether that will improving your margin? Also, I think in this floor you also mentioned about 150 kilowatt hour battery will coming. So did you think that margin for the upside from the battery upgrade?
对这个100度电呢，如果是用户选装的话，当然毫无疑问会增加这个毛利率。但是我们同时提供这个100度电的这个灵活升级服务。那么如果是全装的话，它会提高整车毛利率。那么如果是灵活升级服务的话呢，它是提升这个其他的这个收入、其他的服务的毛利率。所以这个我们会把这个全装和升级服务要分开看。100度电的话呢，我们觉得我们当然100度电推出来以后，我们看到了一些也有一些用户会去选装，但是因为我们提供按月按年的这样一个灵活升级服务，所以也有很多用户会觉得它其实有灵活升级就可以了。所以总体上来说，毫无疑问100度电会提升我们整个公司的毛利率，但是它对于这个新车的销售的毛利率的提升呢，可能是这个不会特别的显著，但是长期来讲，它对于我们其他的这个服务的毛利率的提升，那我觉得从长期来讲是一个很好的合同。
For the 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, the users can purchase the battery pack as an option, which is going to improve the vehicle gross margin. But at the same time, we also provide the flexible upgrades, which can contribute to the gross margin of other services and sales. These are two different stories and approaches. After the launch of the 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, we have seen some users choose to install the 100 kilowatt battery pack as an option. And at the same time, we also provide the flexible upgrade. So we also have some users opt to the flexible upgrade by month or by year. We believe this is going to improve the gross margin of the company. But in terms of the new car gross margin or new vehicle gross margin, we think it's not going to have a significant impact. But in the long run, this is going to give us some boost to the gross margin of the other sales and the revenue.
其他的更大容量的电池包，其实基本上也是这个逻辑啊，就是说，其实王斌，我们总体的一个大的一个思考就是说，平时你用70度电就日常的使用就够了。如果你需要一些长途的出行，那你可以用一个租用我们的一个更大容量的电池啊。那当然这个的话呢，就满足在少数情况下的一个需求。我们认为这个方法是我们独特的一个竞争优势。从财务的角度来讲的话呢，我们也为创造长期的整体毛利带来了一个更多的可能啊。那我们以后每推出一款新的电池包，都能够针对存量用户去有这种收入的可能性啊。那我觉得这个是我们的商业模式里面比较独特的一个地方，比较独特的一个优势。
Our logic for this approach is basically the 70 kilowatt hour battery pack can meet the daily needs of the users. And if the users need to travel for long distance, then they can subscribe to the bigger batteries or the batteries with higher density or capacity. Users can choose this service on demand. This is quite flexible, and this is the advantage of our service. We believe this is also going to contribute to the possibilities of gross margin growth in the long run. And the battery pack is going to provide a very good opportunity for us to improve the gross margins among the existing users. And this is a very unique advantage of our business model.
那有一点我想补充的就是，其实我们推出100度电，包括后续的更大容量电池包，我们从这个角度来讲，它其实大大的增加了70度电池包用户的这个吸引力。
Hey Leon, can you unmute yourself? You got muted.
然后有需要的时候用更大容量电池包。
I was muted. I didn't realize I was
来
muted.
讲的话呢，它其实是大大增加了我们这个70度电的这种竞争力啊。所以我想大家从一个 whole picture 去看这件事情，希望大家能够从这个角度去多一个理解。
The 100 kilowatt hour battery pack or the future bigger battery packs can, in the end, improve the attraction of the 70 kilowatt hour battery pack, because the users of the 70 kilowatt hour battery pack will have the opportunity to upgrade the battery pack on demand. They don't actually need to have the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack or the kilowatt hour battery pack.
Swap the upgraded battery, right? They're gonna have like
battery pack.
the stations know that they need to go to a particular station for the upgraded battery versus the non-upgraded battery.
Bigger batteries, and we believe that this is going to significantly improve the competitiveness of over 70 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wang Bin.
Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you may press star 1 for questions, and it is the hash key to cancel the question. And again, may we remind everyone to please limit yourself to 2 questions, and you may press star 1 again if you have additional questions. The next one is from Edison Yu from Deutsche Bank. Your line is now open.
Thanks everyone for taking the questions. First, can you talk a little bit about the plan, the operational plan to boost the production target in January? What needs to get done just on the ground? And then secondly, as it relates to the next gen autonomous platform. Can you talk about your latest thinking in terms of insourcing the chip design, maybe the implications for Mobileye in that relationship, and how you think about the use of LiDAR?
Thank you, Edison. 第一个问题就是这个产能的。
对，因为刚才提到第二份我们会提升产能，然后现在是不是已经开始实施了相关的计划？
对，当然这个虽然我们一直强调是一个全供应链的产能啊，那因为不光是工厂的产能，重要的是我们要保证供应链的每一个 partner 它都能够 match 我们的这个需求。我们现在用户订我们的车确实需要等一些时间，我们也希望的话能够加速这个交付的这个速度。那现在我们工厂的产能提升一直都在按照计划在前进，我们还有一些 partner supply chain 的 partner 呢，我们也在帮助他们提升他们的产能。是的，这个工作我们一直都在做啊，我们是非常有信心，在1月份能够到达这个全供应链的7500台的产能。
We have always been emphasizing on the overall supply chain production capacity, not just about the production capacity of our own plants. We would like to work together with all the supply chain partners to make sure they can support us to boost our production capacity. The users right now will need to wait for some time to pick up their parts because of the production capacity constraints. We are also trying to speed up the deliveries to satisfy the users' demands. So by now we are working on our own plant production capacity expansion and also working together with the supply chain partners to improve their production capacity. We're very confident to be able to improve our production capacity to 7,500 units.
那第二个问题就是我们 G2 的芯片的选择。那这当然这个我相信这是行业都非常关注的一件事情。但这还是给我们点时间啊，我们还是希望在我们正式发布我们的在 NIO Day 上给大家公布更多的细节。今天可能还太早去说这个，当然我们做出了自己的选择，但是确实现在还是有点太早。我们能够确保的是，它一定是行业最领先的这样一个解决方案，而且能够保证我们在将来的几年也能保持领先。
The second question is about the chipset of the NT 2.0. We understand this attracts a lot of attention in the industry and in the market, but we still need some time to disclose the specific information. At the NIO Day 2020, it's still too early for us to share those information. Of course, we have already made our decision internally. We believe that we should be able to provide the most advanced chipset with the best performance in the industry, and this can also help us to guarantee our leading position in the industry for the coming years.
关于 LiDAR 的话呢，我想先说一下我们对于自动驾驶的这个评价这个方向的一个思考。我们认为两件事情是最重要的。第一个就是你到底这个替用户解放了多少比例的时间，那么从这个角度它是个可用性的问题啊。另外一个的话呢是防范了多少的事故啊，那这个它是个可靠性的问题。那么不管是从可用性还是可靠性的话，我们觉得 LiDAR 都是有它的积极意义的啊，都是这其实是一个容易就算出来的一个东西，就是能增加多少可用性，能增加多少可靠性。那从这个角度来讲的话，我们相信 LiDAR 有它的意义，当然 LiDAR 有它的部署成本的问题，这需要去做一个 balance。从一个方向的角度来讲的话，不管是 camera 发展到什么样的技术，不管是算力到了什么样的程度，我们相信 LiDAR 都在一定的这个场景下边都有它的这个意义，而且也对于降低这个事故的比例降低事故的概率有它积极的意义所以我们认为 LiDAR 从一个技术方向的角度来讲它是一个非常有意义的补充。
For the LiDAR question, I would like to share some thoughts on the autonomous driving direction first. When thinking about autonomous driving, we should evaluate the two aspects. The first one is how much time we can free up for the users. This is a question of the availability or usability. The second question is how many accidents can we prevent with the autonomous driving system? This is a matter of reliability. So we need to think about these two aspects when we evaluate the strategy of autonomous driving. We believe that LiDAR should be able to help with both aspects. This is a very simple math, but we will need to tackle the issue of cost when it comes to LiDAR, and we need to balance this out with our product strategy. In the future, with the improvement of cameras and compute powers, we do believe that LiDAR can play a role in some cases and the domains, because it can help us to reduce the accident rate in some corner cases. So LiDAR is a very good addition to the technology competence.
如果是一个把用户的利益放在第一位的企业的话，我们相信这是需要去突破的一个从成本和性能的角度来讲，需要突破的一个技术的问题。
If a company puts users' interest first, then they should find ways to tackle these technical issues in terms of cost and performance.
Thank you, Edison.
Thank you. We have the next question from Nick Lai. Your line is now open.
管理层你好，我是 JP Morgan Nick，就两个简单的问题好了，第一个就是有关 capacity 跟 cash burn， 就刚有提到说明年的1月份我们的月产能会大概7500台，然后以我们现在在江淮的设计产能，是不是在未来1年或者1年半应该要再考虑那个产能增加的问题，然后在资本开支该怎么看这个事情，然后同时在资本开支的这个一样的这个前提下，我们明年会增加更多的那个电池的 swap station， 还有更多的 new house， 就整体我们怎么看这个未来1年的 capex 跟 cash burn， 然后需不需要应该是 in theory 在未来2年，因为在今年上半年到前3季度有融资，所以应该在未来1-2年不太需要再到资本市场做 fundraising， 这是第一个问题。然后第二个问题就有关自动驾驶，我想再追问一下，是不是刚听 William 的这个讲法，是不是我们可以理解成我们在自动驾驶的长期的策略，基本上就是去买，就是跟比较好的 vendor 去买购买晶片，但是之后的演算法、这些算力等的，就是都变成 in house 了，这个策略的 autonomous driving 这个策略的问题。Let me translate my question very briefly. The first question is regarding the cash burn and the capex and the investment in the next 1 year. For instance, William just mentioned that our monthly capacity can ramp up to 7,500 in January, and would that mean that in the next 1 year also we need to expand our capacity at the Jianghai plant? On top of that, how should we think about the capex needed to build a swap station as well as new space? So the first question is about cash burn and capex related. And second question on longer term autonomous driving solution or strategy. Based on what William's chairman just comment just now, is it correct to understand that our long term strategy is to procure chip from top vendor, but at the same time we'll do most of the operating capability or solution in house? Thank you.
So Nick, with regard to the capex to improve our production capacity, most of the capex will be covered by JAC. Of course, NIO will spend a very little capex on our own, but the majority will be covered by JAC.
Yeah, and we also will invest more in the expansion of sales and service network and also the power substation. But we will manage well the progress. So I don't think there will a very big cash burn I think next year. So yeah, that's about the question about the capex.
从目前的这个我们的这个发展计划和我们的现金的角度来讲的话呢，我们是短期内没有这个继续融资的这个计划短期内是能够支持我们整个的发展的。当然这个另外一个问题就是自动驾驶的这个，当然我们这个会就像你刚才讲的，我们当然会去做 in-house 的这个全站的能力其实我们一直也具备这样的一个能力那当然我们最近的话呢，也加大了这个整个的这个 in-house 的这个算法和数据团队也加强了这个团队那从一个系统的角度来讲的话，我们现在 NIO Pilot 我们从2016年开始研发，就是整个的系统就是完全由我们自己来做的。当然确实呢，在第一代的话呢，我们的 NIO Pilot 呢，它的这个芯片和算法它们是绑得更紧然后从这个第二代开始的话呢，我们会有全站的 in-house 的整个的这个从算法数据的这个能力系统的能力，这是我们的一个方向。
Of course, for the current development plan and the cash position, we believe we have no need for financing in the short term. We should be able to have sufficient resources to support the business development of the company. With respect to autonomous driving directions, our objective is to build in-house full stack capabilities for autonomous driving. Of course, we have always had this capability in our company in-house. Recently, we have even enhanced our capabilities in terms of the algorithm and the system development. Starting from 2016, we have developed the NIO Pilot first generation by ourselves in-house. But for the first generation NIO Pilot, chipset is closely bundled together with the algorithm. For the second generation NIO Pilot, we would like to make sure we can have the in-house capabilities, especially in terms of the algorithm, data, and the system development.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Jeff Cheng from Citigroup. Your line is now open.
各位领导好啊，花旗的 Jeff 我有几个问题我首先头两个问题，第一就是我们知道一月份明年那个产能会有一个扩充，但是2月份是一个农历新年嘛，那整个一季度来说，我们的销量跟今年4季度比会有一个怎么样的一个提升？就是现在我们看这里头会不会有一些未知数，就是可能是电池的一个供应的瓶颈这是第一个问题。第二个问题呢就是我们看见3季度我们的整车毛利扩张速度比这个非整车毛利扩张速度要快那我想问一下，往后的几个季度是不是也会延续的这样的一个 momentum， 就整车毛利要远远快于非整车毛利就先这两个问题。So my first question is about first quarter next year's sales volume outlooks, whether they can still expand Q on Q. And second question is about the differences between vehicle GP margin and non-vehicle GP margins growth outlook and forecast. Thank you.
对，但谢谢这个现在还太早去给一季度的这个指引呢，就是当然我们 anyway 我们从产能的角度来讲，要做好满足我们的这个订单的这个需求我们相信今年会有不少的这个订单需要靠明年的一季度的产能去满足这是我们从目前订单的一个发展趋势的角度去看，因为从 NIO 的角度来讲的话，我们都是按订单生产嘛，所以我们跟传统的汽车公司不一样我们是讲订单深度别的公司可能是讲这个库存深度。那我们从订单深度的角度讲，我们希望它在一个合理的水平太长了的话呢，会影响用户体验用户要等的时间太长。那所以我们希望能够把我们的这个订单的这个深度能够通过产能的提升，能够让它在1个月以内也就意味着如果一个用户订一辆车到交付这个车能够 以我们现在的，如果是产能足够的话，我们希望它能够在3个星期左右3到4个星期，这样的话对用户体验来说的话是非常好的。当然我们看起来还需要等比较长的一点时间才能到达这一点，这是个幸福的烦恼。但我们相信这个产能提升了以后会显著的提升这个用户体验，所以现在还太早去看明年1季度，但我还是非常有信心的啊。从目前的这个趋势的角度来看的话。
Thank you for your question, Jeff. It's very early to provide the guidance for the first quarter of 2021. But of course, we need to be fully prepared in terms of the production capacity to make sure we can meet the user demand and the order backlog. According to the current order momentum and the current backlog, we will need to have a sufficient production capacity for the first quarter of next year to meet the order backlog right now. So in our company, our business model is make to order. So we would like to focus on the level of orders. For other companies, they talk about the inventory level, but we focus on the order level. We would like to control the order level within a reasonable range. So users don't need to wait for a long time to pick up their car. We would like to improve our production capacity to make sure we can control the order level within 1 month. It means from the order placement to the user delivery, the lead time should be between 3 to 4 weeks. Then we can achieve a good user experience. At this moment, we still need a long time to meet this target, but we will need to ramp up our production to make sure we can improve the user experience, and we're quite confident that we can achieve this target in the future.
当然，从这个毛利的提升的角度来讲，在过去确实我们一直都是在这个非整车的毛利它的水平一般都是比整车毛利要低一些。但是总体来说，我们看到了在过去的几个季度，我们都是整车毛利和非整车毛利都是在持续的这个持续的变好啊。当然，这个我们前面也讲了，我们的这个积分收入这个双积分的收入，我们会放到非整车毛利里面。那么这一部分的话呢，今年在中国的话呢，这个积分的话呢，确实它的市场价值已经显现出来了。那我相信这个从今年4月开始到明年的整个1年从再远的将来，我们的这个积分的收入会显著的改善我们的非整车毛利。另外一点的话呢，就是我们现在的这个销售我们现在的服务的收入，还有我们的这个换电站这样的一些这个收入那随着这个我们保有量的增加的话，它的这个亏损单车的亏损其实也会逐步的缩窄所以总体上来讲的话，我们的这个非整车的毛利也会持续的提升从更长期去看的话，这个我们电池升级服务也能够显著的去改善我们的整车的这个非整车的这个毛利所以总体上我们觉得现在一切都是按照我们计划的在前进的。
The gross margin has been on the rise. In the past, we have witnessed a consistent trend that is the non-vehicle gross margin is lower than the vehicle gross margin. In the past few quarters, we have seen both the vehicle gross margin and the non-vehicle gross margin have been increasing. Just like I've mentioned, the carbon credit revenue will be included in the non-vehicle gross margin in the future. And this year, we can see the value of the carbon credit has become one more evident in China. In the coming years going forward, we believe that the carbon credit is going to contribute to the improvement of the non-vehicle gross margin. At the same time, the revenue from our services and the power swap can also help us to narrow the operating loss. So this is going to improve together with the expansion of our user base. Overall speaking, the non-vehicle gross margin is going to improve in the long run, and the battery as a service bus can also improve the non-vehicle gross margin. Everything is going according to the plan.
另外，我补充一点，就是我们今年4季度实现的这个积分收入的话，事实上是19年我们销售的车产生的啊。那我们今年销售的车，这个预计会产生的积分数量是去年的至少2.5倍以上。那么而且积分的单价的话呢，从目前来看的话呢，我们至少认为会增长1倍吧，大概会增长1倍。所以总体上来讲，我们可以预期的话，这个明年的在积分方面的收入的话，从一个市场的预计的角度来讲的话，我们大概会是今年的积分的收入的4到5倍，大体上会是这么一个水平。现在有不少汽车厂商在跟我们接洽，想买我们明年的积分。这个当然我们看这市场现在确实因为这个双积分对于这个整个新能源车下一步的这个发展的推动作用还是会非常的大。
In the fourth quarter, we're going to receive the revenues on the carbon credit, which is generated by the vehicles sold in 2019. In this year, because of the sales increase, the carbon credit number has increased by over 2.5 times, and we believe that the piece price of the carbon credit will also double next year. So the overall revenue on the carbon credit will be 4 to 5 times more next year compared with this year. Now, a lot of OEMs are in discussion with us about the purchase of the carbon credit. So we believe that this dual credit system and mechanism is going to be very beneficial to the development of the EV industry.
谢谢威廉吧，我还有很快2个问题，对，谢谢啊。那个第一就是那个明年的这个 carbon credit， 就是明年这个 carbon credit 的话，也是明年的4季度入账吗？就跟今年一样，也是今年的4季度入账，是这样吗？这是第一。第二就是我们那个 NOP 的那个 attach rate， 现在是多少？然后未来几个 quarter 我们觉得这个会增长多少？然后 bus 现在的 attach rate 我听刚才说是35% 嘛，这个我们未来1、2、3个 quarter 我们展望了多少啊 ？So my last 2 question is about the carbon credit. Will it be impacting on our P&L next year in 4Q as well, rather than spread evenly for the 4 quarters? This is number 1. Number 2 is about the attach rate on our NOP and bus right now and going forward. Thank you.
这个积分收入到底在哪个季度确认？这个我们会根据这个整个市场的这个情况、策略，还有这个整个的会灵活的去看吧。这个我们不一定是把它放在某一个季度啊，或者说这个我们会根据因为你卖的太少的话，没准就卖便宜了，是吧？这个我们这就是一个市场的一个决定。那后边 bus take rate 我刚才已经说了，我们在11月份到目前为止的订单我们从订单的角度讲已经到了35啊，当然我们这个相信它会持续的会去提高。那NOP 的这个 take rate 我们已经在NP 的 take rate 我们已经在50左右啊。从整体来看的话，随着 NOP 的推出啊，我们相信这个它的这个用户的这个 take rate 也会有一个不错的表现啊。
The confirmation of the carbon credit revenue is quite flexible. We are not going to put the revenue confirmation in a specific quarter next year because this depends on the specific market conditions. If we sell too early, maybe it's a little bit too cheap. For the bus take rate, just like I mentioned in November, the take rate of a bus has reached 35% among the new orders. Going forward, we believe this is going to further improve in the long run, and the take rate of the new pallet is around 50%. After the launch of Navigate on Pallet, we believe this is going to have a much better performance.
Thank you.
谢谢 William， 谢谢。
再见。
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Mei Yi from US Tiger Securities. Your line is now open.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. My question first is, could you please comment on your stock?
Can you hear me, Leah?
Can't hear it.
Will it impact on your order momentum? And secondly, could you please give us some updates on your internationalization?
Internationalization. That's about international.
Yeah, international.
For global, and where could be your focus market? What kind of models are focus market? What kind of models are you going to introduce?
Good question. Where are they going next?
It's supposed to be Europe, 2021.
所以我的问题的话是两个，一个的话是不是可以这个讲一下咱们对于这个那个特斯拉 Model Y 的一些想法，然后这个事情的话对咱们的订单的动能的话是正面的还是负面的？那么第二个问题的话，是不是可以讲一下咱们的国际化的计划？比如说咱们对于不同阶段的国际化有些什么时间表？然后哪些地方会是我们的主要的市场？然后我可能会推出的车型，以及怎么样去招募一个比较的这个本地化和有能力的团队。谢谢。
谢谢美。这个对这个，当我们看到 Tesla 这个是已经比较明确的说，他们 Model Y 会国产啊。当然总体上来说的话呢，我们相信这个市场有更多的产品给用户选择，对促进整个这个电动汽车的这个普及的话，肯定是有非常大的好处的。那我们当然也看到 Tesla 跟我们确实是一个不太一样的公司啊，那他们会不停的降价，然后这个在过去的这1年多里面降了很多次的价啊，他们总体上来说是一个按成本定价的一个逻辑啊。那这个当然，如果从一个事实的角度来讲的话呢，他们第一次降价，对我们当时在今年年初、去年年底、今年年初的第一次降价，对我们当时的订单确实差不多有一个星期的影响啊，按理讲有这个影响。但后边它每一次降价，其实基本上都没什么影响。它最近的一次很大的一个降价，降了10%左右啊，这个在国庆节这个10月1号的一个降价。事实上，然后我们10月份创造了订单的历史记录啊，所以我们总体上觉得我们现在的在中国的这个平均的这个购车发售的价格大概比 Tesla 要贵10几万人民币啊。我们其实认为我们的产品和服务有自己的独特的竞争力啊。我们觉得Tesla 当然 Model Y 推出了以后，我们相信呢，对这个市场整体上是有正面的影响的。但从我们来讲，我觉得 Model Y 可能更多是和 Model 3去竞争多一些，所以我们说和它还是有显著的差别啊。我们从产品和服务的角度上有竞争优势啊。我觉得从一个整体的一个市场的情况来看的话，整个这个派的变大，我们最主要的竞争对手还是油车啊，所以我们相信中国的这个高端的这个车的市场是几百万辆的一个规模啊，这个我们和 Tesla 加起来可能也还没有多少，所以这个还好吧，这个市场还足够大啊，我们还对自己的成长和迎接这个竞争还是非常有信心的。还是那句话，我们认为我们最主要的竞争对手还是油车。
Thank you for question made. Tesla has officially announced that they are going to have the local production of the Model Y. We believe that this is actually good for the users because if we have more options for the users, this can help us to accelerate the popularization of EVs in the market. Of course, we believe the Tesla's strategy is quite different from NIO. Starting from last year, Tesla has cut their price multiple times, and they basically have the pricing strategy based on the cost. At the end of last year and the beginning of this year, their price cuts has affected us for about 1 week. But afterwards, our order intake bounced back very quickly. After this price reduction, they also had several rounds of price cuts, The most recent one is around the 1st of October. The price cut is around 10%. We didn't see any specific impact on our order intake. Actually, in October, our order intake has broke the historic record and exceeded our expectations. Our transaction price is around hundreds of thousands RMB higher than Tesla's average selling price. So we believe that this proves that we have our own unique advantages with our products and services. Model Y's introduction to the China market is going to be beneficial for the overall market, but we believe the competition is more about the competition between Model Y and the Model 3 because we have our own unique advantages regarding our products and the services. For the market situation, basically, we believe the pie is growing bigger, and our main competitors in this market should be the gasoline cars. The China premium market is a very big market with the volume of millions, and this gives us a great confidence that we can have a sustainable growth in the long run.
This is Stephen. I'll give you some high-level update of our globalization efforts. First, we have a very concrete short-term target. That is, we will enter EU market in the second half of 2021. At the same time, globalization is a very long-term vision for NIO. So NIO is a global brand, and we will be very patient to implement this strategy step by step. And so we have three principles. First, we will stick to our user enterprise business model. We believe it's a global and universal business philosophy. Second, we will maintain our premium brand positioning. So our key competitors are BMW, Audi, and Tesla. Third, our sales and service must be localized to suit the European customers' needs. That's the update of our globalization efforts. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. That will be the last question for today. I'd like to turn the call back over to the company for closing remarks.
Thank you again for joining us today. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact NIO's Investor Relations team through the contact information on our website. So this concludes the conference call. You may now disconnect your line. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, man, I was hoping he was going to end it with like, you need to buy this stock right now, like the Peloton guy did. I was waiting for that.
It's China at the end of the day. There's the more formal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, like my gut says that this thing is going to get bought back tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah. I think. I mean, just a speculation, but dude, I mean, this could be $60 in December. but yeah, like tomorrow. You can't really. It's hard to guess what happens right after earnings, right?
Yeah.
It's it's profit taken even if they're bullish to rotate into some other idea. Or like I heard some other like bigger funds are in it now too, but they probably got in after hours on Friday, after that Citron report, so they're already sitting good.
What do people here think? Anyone want to chime in?
Yeah, price is very extended. The same thing happened to Tesla though earlier in the year. Now potentially. You could have more local. Let's see. Yeah, tomorrow, man. I just want to see tomorrow. I was expecting high volatility. yesterday and today, but just all sideways. But yeah, any questions, anyone? Consolidate in the 40s, possibly. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm not sure. I agree with what Lisa posted in our YouTube. Yeah, I think it's gonna go up, but yeah, like right at the market start, I just can't wait for that pre-open. I'm not sure what could happen. You go very drastically down or drastically above. Here's a great thing about different trading strategies. So I'm like long on calls. Mid is selling a more conservative but more risk adjusted strategy, which is selling calls. So if we go down to 40 tomorrow, I'm gonna be down like over $10,000 plus, or probably more. But like you're gonna be making what do you already made profit on those calls? Are you gonna close it? Uh, yeah. So, yeah. No. Yeah. I noticed that, and also the dark pools, like 300 million in calls were bought that Friday. The Friday after hours for January, like $50, $60. Um, but yeah, so like what happened with this could happen. So what happened? It happened to Tesla early in the year, right? They had a great earnings in January. I was like, oh, pump, right? I was in this options trade. I already doubled my money, and I had a few options left. But then the price tanked down like a few days after earnings, right? I was like, well, it had had a good earnings. Why? What happened? And literally, dude, that Tuesday, the price basically almost doubled. But that's again, that's Tesla, and that's probably people like I don't know, a lot of different variables to consider. But overall, in the short term, yeah, mid to long term, I'm bullish. I was gonna say mid to long term, this is $100 stock, people. Probably a couple $100 stock, and if your timeline, if your timeline's a year or two, yeah, but yeah, so my trade is a couple of months, well, 3 months, so yeah, yeah, I was to say, yeah, I think BlackRock, but let me double check that. I think I heard that too. BlackRock took a position. They manage like 5 or 4 trillion in assets, by the way. BlackRock took position in it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, is that your music? Are you playing some music? You don't hear that music? Huh. I don't know where it's coming from. All right, let me.
Profit makers, and yeah, just feel free to join. And if you have any questions, hit us up. And we do also have a premium, channels where we kind of literally share our trades, full disclosure, and a 98% batting average. So I think it's a pretty good batting average right there. Fair
They
enough.
started playing some Western music on the NIO call. That's what it was coming from. I was like, who's playing that guitar?
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for. Oh, dude, you want to talk about Ray Dalio real quick? Off topic, I guess. Oh yeah, any questions for us? So I'm Leon Gabon. I'm a mod from the Dumb Money Discord community, and that's probably where most of you guys know me. And this is my friend Mitt. I've known him for over a decade. And yeah, and we trade options.
Yeah.
And he's a black belt. Yeah.
Citron's predicting to 25. What do you think?
Oh,
Yeah,
some
I
bullshit.
They're trying to short squeeze the stock down. Yeah, let's see how it all plays out. Yeah, we come on Zoom very frequently, so you're always welcome to ask us questions on Zoom, face to face, or over chat.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty. Want to wrap this up, Leon?
Yeah. Thanks for coming, guys. You want to play the theme music?
Sure, why not? Cool. Alrighty. Let me share my